And the rumours, Ben, are about the NBA Live 18 demo. And a couple of videos have been posted about this, including one by D-Boy Games, talking about a screenshot or a photo that was released that included a
On
white.
Twitter.
Yeah, there was posted on Twitter, I should say, yes, that it showed various dates, various timelines. It's from the EA representatives, from the community managers, and one of it is one particular piece of information that's relevant to us, of course, is the August 11th, this date that was marked with NBA. So the speculation is that this is either going to be the release date of the NBA Live 18 demo, or maybe when it needs to be done. We were discussing this before the show, Ben, and either seems to be the possibility at this point.
Yeah, I think it's more likely the completion date for the demo. Submission date, I suppose, would probably be the term to put into like Sony and Microsoft. So that's what I assume would be likely the case. I think because usually you have to take into account there's usually about a 2-week period for the QA part between Microsoft and Sony in that. So I'd imagine it'd be approximately about 2 weeks later, so maybe around the 24th, maybe 25th of when the game would actually potentially come out in that case.
Well, the 11th place is on a Friday, which is usually not when new content comes out. New content comes out on a Thursday, usually, I believe.
Yeah, and I think too, like having a month-long demo, as positive the reviews and all that have been and all that stuff so far from the EA Play and other events and stuff like that. I think a month-long demo is a little bit too long. I think a potentially 1 to 2 week long demo is probably the right length in terms of things. So I think that creates more the window for that sort of time period before the game comes out, sort of thing.
No, I agree, and I'm trying to think when the Live 16 demo came out, whether it was about. What was that, a month, or was it just a couple of weeks? I've got a feeling it was close to 2 or 3 weeks.
I think it was around the 2 or 3 week mark as well. And yeah, I think that's a good length period, because then, I mean, I won't say potentially like hurt sales in a negative sense. I think depending how many people play games and how often they play, you could hurt sales in that. People have had big enough bite of the game and that sort of thing, or maybe again, this is not trying to sound in any form negative. It's just maybe the attention span, or that other people will have other things that they need to do, or other games that there would be probably more of a priority, because sports genre may not be their one and all kind of thing. They might be a first person shooter or third person adventure type things. So depending on what other games.
You got 2K18 as well coming out, so that's you compete with another game. You don't want to have people too burned out if they've sort of played too much of it and leveled up their player, because that progress will carry across to NBA Live 18 as well. So it's certainly possible, and I guess you don't want to have it too far out, especially as you say, having too much of a bite of the game. Especially now that these days the demos that Live have been putting out, that EA have been putting out for Live, I should say, they are more substantial. Back in the day, we would just get those 2 quarters, or maybe a full game with 2-minute quarters or whatever. But now that you are actually getting, I think the Elite 11 demo was the full 4th quarter of the Game 7 of the 2010 finals, from memory. But now that you can actually play full games and a little bit of a Rising Star, rather the one now that they're going to have, and probably some of the online as well, and exhibition games. You don't want to overexpose the game too much, especially in demo form, when there's probably going to be some day one patches that resolve issues after the game's gone gold. So it definitely seems to be something to do with the NBA on August 11th. If it's not the demo, it could simply be when information is being pushed through.
Again, that will sort of fit within the time frame of that sort of thing. So I think essentially good period when we'll start to really find out more. But I think potentially around the submissions, finalizing and submission date for either the demo or the full game, sort of maybe both even, sort of getting the ball rolling for that. So
we do know that they're eyeing something. They're eyeing that date to do something. So whether it's rolling out more information, although it wouldn't surprise me if that's in the next couple of weeks that we start getting a little bit of info here and there. I do miss the days when we had a really long preview season where stuff was coming out every day. We've said that before. But maybe it's that, or certainly something to do with the demo, either the demo being finalized and submitted, as you said, or coming out. It's whether it comes out on the Friday and gives people all weekend to play it. Either way, I guess we basically circle August 11th on our calendar and wait and see.
Yeah, well, I know that I got to sort of see the tweet briefly and all that stuff, and then it was taken down.
It wasn't meant to be. It was leaked. It was a leak. It wasn't meant to be revealed.
So I did see it in my timeline, Simon, and I did see it in the timeline, but I didn't get to actually. And I saw the picture briefly, but I didn't get to obviously zoom in the picture and sort of see it full screen in that before it was taken down. So it was sort of like the little preview sort of version within the tweet and all that.
Okay. So, it's there in D-Boy Games video.
Yeah, I got to see the video, and all, so when I did get sent the link to the video, I was like, okay, so that's why I couldn't actually see why the tweet was taken down so relatively quickly in that sense. So, yeah, it made sense at the time. I was like, because when I first saw it, I was like, why did they remove that? I was like, so, because there was a lot of photos, the photo with like the community manager, I think, community managers and stuff like that carrying a lot of Jordan Brand sneakers and stuff like that, and I was like, ooh, that's got my attention.
Absolutely, yeah. Pretty cool to see some behind the scenes stuff and get a bit of a leak, I guess, in this situation. Obviously taken down, hopefully no one in serious trouble over that. It's just one of those things that happens, I guess. It's not exactly Michael Beasley with a bag of weed being tweeted out or Instagram, whatever that was, back in a few years ago.
Lamar Odom. Not Lamar Odom, the Greg Oden.
Oh, yeah, that was a... I guess that was an impressive leak of sorts, but... Mazel tov and all that.
You had the tripod out for that one.
But, dang. We'll stay focused on August 11th, and hopefully some information comes through before then, and we're still reaching out and hoping to set up our interviews and such well ahead of the game coming out, and if nothing else, we'll get our hands on the demo sometime in August. They did say that, and I'm just trying to think now, did they say mid-August it would be coming out, or did they just say August? Because
that's what I was trying to remember. It was like, did they say? It wouldn't. I cannot remember. I just remember August, but yeah, that was playing on my mind a bit too. So I admit I have to try and source back and look through to be sure myself. So yeah,
I'm just looking at the information that I got and put in our wiki article. Of course, we, as always, invite people to help out with the wiki. At EA Play 2017, a demo of NBA Live 18 was confirmed for August. That's okay. So that's the only information I had to go on at the time. I'm not sure if there's any other information that's come through since, but we know the demo is coming out in August. So whether that's again the finalization and the submission for the demo, when that's coming out, well, something's happening August 11th, I guess. So we mark the calendar and hope that we have something to talk about in between now and then. If not, sounds like we'll actually have something to talk about as of August 11th. So,
and it's actually a month away for it.
And the way the year is going, that's going to be here very quickly. Just about a month, and as you say, and pretty quickly that'll fly by, I'm sure.